presenters will be Esther Wanza and Noreen Wambani, who are from Equity Group Foundation. So to introduce this session, Equity of Christ is composed of around 485 members at the moment, and we are a group of stakeholders from both eCooking. So the eCooking Committee of Practice is usually co-convened by Gamos East Africa, African Center for Technology Studies, Kenya Power, CCAK, and we are supported under the MECS program. We usually have a WhatsApp group, which, like I said, has over 485 members. And we also do these monthly dialogues, which today we are going to be focusing on financing, innovation, and entrepreneurship initiatives in the eCooking space. So the reasons, the goal for this committee of practice is basically to bring together these two sectors to be able to have conversations around the emerging eCooking sector, and also to share opportunities, innovations around eCooking, and also research and policy initiatives. So for today's dialogue, we have two amazing presenters who are working in the eCooking space. They're working with a financial institution, which is currently supporting some of the initiatives within the eCooking space. So we have Ms. Esther Wanza, who is a renewable energy professional and a senior officer working on institutional energy at Equity Group Foundation. Her role involves coordinating initiatives focused on increasing access to clean cooking and lighting solutions at institutional level and productive use of energy initiatives. She has over 6 years of experience in business development and project development, data analysis, technical support, business and investment advisory in the clean cooking and off-grid solar sector. The other presenter that will be presenting alongside Esther is Ms. Noreen Wambani. So Ms. Noreen Wambani is a project coordinator at also Equity Group Foundation, working on Ecomoto and COSAP champion on renewable energy for households, especially clean cooking technologies. She's a former retail manager for BioLite Holdings, and has worked on improved cook stoves and solar lanterns. She's also former partnership manager, Kenya and Tanzania Ecosome Limited, worked on improved cook stoves, and then she started her career working for GIZ NDEF, who are also one of our partners in the eCooking space. And here she was a market research consultant at the Tutalage Maxwell Musoka. Yes, I hope Noreen have said that correctly. So I would like to allow Noreen and Esther to take us through their presentation. Esther, if you're here, please take it up.
Thank you, Cyprus. I think Noreen should be joining us shortly. She's experiencing challenges with a gadget, but she'll join us through. Probably we can go to the next slide just to start us off. Great. Thank you for organizing this webinar, again, just to explore some of the initiatives that Equity is undertaking to accelerate access to finance in the clean cooking sector in general, both at household level and also institutional level. And maybe just to start us off, I would like now to provide who is Equity, then we can go into detail into the different initiatives that we are undertaking. So as most of us know, Equity is well known for a financing institution, mainly operating in different countries in East and Central Africa. We operate in Kenya, Rwanda, Tanzania, DRC, Congo, Southern Sudan, Tanzania, and a representative office in Ethiopia. We have different lines of business. There is the Equity Bank, which is well known, like Equity Bank Kenya, Equity Bank Uganda, Equity Bank Tanzania, Equity Bank Rwanda. We also have in all the subsidiaries that we operate in, we have the investment arm of the bank, of the equity group, that is more focusing on investments, in the sectors. We have the Equity Group Foundation where I sit, and today we'll be talking more about that, what we do in the foundation and how we relate it with the bank. We also have the Equity Life Assurance, mainly offering insurance services, also equity insurance, which is also being launched, FinServe, which is our technology part of the bank. How we operate on a twin model where the equity group has the social arm and the economic arm. The economic arm being the bank, and the social arm being the Equity Group Foundation, which is an implementing foundation, mainly relying on the infrastructure of the bank to carry out its activities. And our aim is to create, to use financial as our financing as an instrument to transform livelihoods. Today I'm going to focus on the Equity Foundation. In the Equity Group Foundation, we have different departments where we have the Energy, Environment and Climate Change Department where I sit, and we'll be talking about the initiatives that we do under the department. We have the Food and Agriculture Department, which mainly supports smallholder farmers, training, and also facilitating access to finance. We also have a enterprise development and financial inclusion, which supports a lot of also trainings to our clients, not basically in any sector, but generally to our clients of the bank. We also have the health department, which manages the Equity Afya franchise. I'll talk about who owns the Equity Afya franchise. We also have a education leadership department, which now manages the Wings to Fly scholarships. And some of the people, students that graduate from the Wings to Fly scholarship and they're able to pursue medicine, they are the ones who come again to own the Equity Afya clinics, which is managed by the health pillar. We also have innovation pillar, which offers incubation support to our scholars. For now, mainly targeting the tech skills, helping some of these scholars to develop solutions that can help solve some of the problems of the bank in the tech space. We also have the social protection pillar, which is managing some of the refugee funds, cash plus projects in most of the refugee camps, supporting the most refugees to access financial access in different camps in the country. Next slide. Next slide, please. Thanks. So this is the impact we've realized so far, and these are the results as of last year, December. We've been able to give scholarship to over 60,000 vulnerable students through the Wings to Fly and the LIMU program, which is through the government. Finance supported over 3.8 million farmers through training and access to finance. Also worked with women, that supported women and youth, that is over 2 million women and youth. Also worked with reached over 5.5 million in terms of now social protection program, that is for the refugee settlements. In our pillar, that is the energy environment, we've planted over 25.2 million trees. That was as of last year, December. At the moment, we are about 29 million trees. And these are some of the one of the programs we do with the institutions in the country to help them reduce deforestation or increase the tree cover. We also have supported MSMEs, over 500,000 MSMEs, that is micro, medium, and small enterprises in the country, supported or raised funding through different development partners within the foundation, and also opened over 98 clinics. I think currently we have a clinic in every county in this country. So in the energy environment, next, yeah, you can go to the next. So in the energy, environment, and climate change pillar, which I mentioned is one of the departments we have in the foundation, we mainly implement projects that are targeted at household energy access, institutional energy access. We can go to the next slide, Cyprus. Yeah. We implement projects that are targeted on energy access at household level, institutional level, commercial, and also industrial level. Apart from that, we also have projects in the e-mobility sector. Of course, one of the upcoming sectors, water wash program, focusing on water access for our clients. Again, in energy efficiency. So for us, it's more of facilitating access to renewable energy as a way of mitigating climate change and also enabling our clients to reduce the climate risk, being one of the challenges that the bank faces. Next slide. So these are the key focus areas. I think I mentioned our aim is to accelerate energy access, also create some of the programs that ensure that we have environmental conservation and also climate mitigation and adaptation. We focus on renewable energy, energy efficiency, climate smart agriculture. And we do this through working with different technology providers. As we are going to the next slide, I'll be showcasing some of the things we are doing with some of the partners in the clean cooking sector in the country. Next slide. So for this segment, I'll allow Noreen, who is handling the household clean cooking, to explain how she's been able to perform this. And since she's experiencing challenges with the gadget, let her do it here. Go ahead, Noreen.
Yes, good afternoon. Thank you for joining the meeting. So in equity,
yeah.
Good afternoon. Hope you can hear me. So at equity, we've deliberately have under renewable energy, we target partners in household clean cooking, especially gas suppliers. We've partnered with most of the companies. Then on the e-cooking front, we've also partnered with providers of the products. Then we also have the improved cook stoves, which is what we've done majorly over time, from people who distribute cook stoves that use wood, charcoal, the ones that use multiple fuels, and the ones that use briquettes. So what we've done is we've developed a special loan called the Ecomoto loan, which is a loan platform that is digitally enabled, that is based on the loan limit of the customer. So what we do is that we onboard the merchants through the Pay with Equity till number, so that when a customer borrows, the money is channeled to the merchant, and we service the client loan on our side, typically over 6 months. Currently, it's under revision because we got some technical challenges, but once it's enabled, we've sold so many products over the platform. Then secondly, we mostly sell through our group loan platform, where we use the Pamoja lending mechanism, where we have group loan officers who use the group lending to lend out to their customers based on their savings. And then we also have MOUs with companies, especially flower farms and tea farms, where we use the check-off loan, especially with our Pamoja banking team. And lastly, we also have our agency network who've been very supportive. Those are the supermarkets and the agents in our network across the country, and especially the ones who sell household merchandise to their clients. So we enlist them so that they can be cross-selling the products to their clients and educating them about the the value of these technologies. And we are happy right now. Esther will also expand later on this financing for people in the ecosystem of especially renewable energy. So if a client needs a loan towards stock financing or working capital, we are happy to support you across our branches so that business can be seamless. I'll hand it back over to Esther.
Thank you, Noreen. Maybe just to expand further and what, maybe you can go to the previous slide, Cyprus. How we've been able to support, or I mean, increase access to clean cooking. I mean, Equity at the moment has around over 200 branches in Kenya. I'm sure most of us have walked to a branch and you've seen people displaying products outside the branch. You've seen us actively promoting use of cooking, improved cook stores, and for this we focus on the high-tier clean cooking technologies, not the locally made. So this has enabled us to reach even as far as people in Kakuma, where we have people even supporting us with marketing activities. Again, we've built the capacity of the bank staff. They are able to know some of these technologies, how they operate, electric pressure cookers, and I think Noreen and her team has really worked well on this to ensure that everyone across the country, especially our own staff in the branch, know about eCooking or electric and also other types of cooking devices. What else we've really utilized is the RBF programs that we partnered with the Ministry of Energy in the COSA program, and now, of course, looking to work with also GIZ in the NDEV project to ensure that we are able to accelerate access to clean cooking, and also using our own scholars who are supporting a lot of marketing activities within the branches. As I mentioned earlier, Equity has over 60,000 scholars, and most of these are not employed. So most companies work with them closely to ensure that they are able to support the marketing activities. The Ecomoto project, program, the digitization is was previously in the Equity app, the normal banking Equity app. Since we transitioned to the new One Equity app, we've not been able to integrate that. And it's something which is being worked to ensure that people can access e-cooking devices on the Equity app. You can take a loan or an EPC as a loan and pay just as any other loan. Just as the way you borrow through Mshwari, you borrow through a loan on any app, banking app. So it's the same way we've been able to do it. What future looks for us is we are trying to see how we can work with carbon developers to develop pre-finance or a program where we can pre-finance access to some of these devices, and we've engaged with some of these developers, and maybe in the next few years, or few months, we'll be able to come up with a program that works for us and even for our partners. Next slide. So for institutional energy, where I mainly support, it's the same issue. Of course, working with different partners in the LPG installation, the engineering, procurement, construction companies. We have a whole team in the foundation that supports the. Yes, you can just go to the next slide. The solution. We have a regional team based in different parts of this country. They engage schools, and since we have good relationship with most schools because of our Wings to Fly program, I think we have students in every part of this country in schools, and this has given us a good platform to engage schools on matters, energy and clean cooking, clean lighting access. We've partnered with several companies in the country, and these are qualified companies that have the relevant documentation to do installation, retrofitting of LPG burners within institutions. What we do is we pitch the solution to the schools, and the company comes on board to do an assessment. After each, they issue a quotation to the school. And in the case that the school is interested in just paying for the capital cost for the equipment, they are able to pay. But in the case they are looking for financing, that's where the bank comes in to provide loans for the school to have the equipment and the solution. For public schools, that this requires a Ministry of Education approval, which we facilitate that to ensure that they're able to access financing. But for private schools, it doesn't need any Ministry of Education approval. The other advantage is for public schools, they don't require security to to be financed. So this is how the process looks like. First, we do a pitching to the school on the cost benefit analysis of transitioning to use of LPG. And in case the school is interested, that's when we send a service provider or an LPG company or any solution. And now we've introduced the new technology that is steam-based cooking, which we are one of our partners. They do an assessment in the school, they share quotation with the school, is that the school is able to finance for the solution, they go ahead and purchase the solution. Next slide. So these are some of the cost drivers that we've identified in the school, and we found out that most of schools we've converted, the costs runs from around 300,000 Kenyan shillings to about 3 million, depending on the service provider, the population, and the given factors. That is, if the model that they are going to use, there are service providers who just provide the tank for free, and the school only pays for the supply of the gas, and the other providers that want to sell everything to the school. So those are some of the driving factors for school to have installation, LPG installation. Next slide. So the other thing I want to talk about is we are implementing a 3-year project that is funded by the Norwegian government, that is NORAD. It's called Finance, Innovation and Entrepreneurship. It's basically focused on business development support, that is more of technical assistance, capacity building, and access to finance. The project is in Kenya and Tanzania, covering blue economy, marine litter, renewable energy, clean cooking. And we are onboarding businesses that are in these sectors to offer need-based support, and also help them to build projects that even the bank can finance, because we realized most of the companies in the renewable energy sector and many in the sectors that I highlighted, whenever they come with proposals to the bank for financing, those proposals are never financed due to one reason or another. Maybe the risk, or maybe their models are not viable, or they don't have the relevant documentation. So again, for this project, we are really working closely with the bank staff to tell them, what do we look for whenever you bring your proposal to the bank? What are we looking for? How can you, if you don't have such documents, if your model doesn't fit what they are looking for, how can you develop it to a place that you can be able to access financing? And Noreen mentioned about ecosystem financing, stock financing, and these are the things we are looking to work with maybe the anchor, the main manufacturer of products, and also be able to support the distributors working under them to see whether they can access financing from the bank, and also build capacity on entrepreneurship, on financial literacy, on different aspects of business management to be able to access financing. Next slide. Next slide, Cyprus. Hi, Cyprus. Next
Yeah,
slide.
yeah, I'm already
It's,
on the next slide. It's
oh,
just
it's not
getting
showing on
light.
my side, and I'm not sure whether it's internet or on my side. I think the next slide explains, I don't know, is it only on my side?
No.
It's also stuck for me as well.
Okay. So I think, yeah, these the type of businesses we are looking for in blue economy. These are the farmers, fish farmers, and everything to do with blue economy. Marine litter is waste conservation, and I think these where most of the renewable energy companies also fit. Those that are doing waste to energy, biogas, that is recycling of waste to produce bio or any sort of energy for cooking. Those are the companies that fit in that space. And also in renewable energy, there are solar manufacturers doing solar related projects, clean cooking related projects, may it be LPG, may it be eCooking, may it be improved cook stores. These are some of the businesses we are looking to support in the 3 years period, working, of course, closely with the sector players to see what kind of support. We also invite some of the incubators in the sector that are supporting these businesses to see how we can work with them to see some of the gaps that they are not able to fulfill for their the businesses, and see how we can come on board and support the businesses. Next, the last slide has it closed. I think it's one of the last slide.
Yeah, let me try to share again. I think it's not showing properly.
Okay.
Yeah, let me just stop and reshare again one more time.
So I think maybe I can just talk through the last slide while you project. So the last slide is on the eligibility for those businesses. One is either you can be in early stages, low as 1 year in operation, either in growth stage, that is of 1 year to 2 years. Then there is already the established businesses that are already in the market. Of course, we are not looking someone with an idea, but of course, someone who's tested the product in the market. It's already operation, and there is some traction in the market. It has to be a legally registered business, either in Kenya or Tanzania. Operating the given thematic areas, the blue economy, marine litter, or renewable energy, clean areas. Of course, looking to raise funding, either that is debt financing from the bank, and also as already a target market and demonstrates potential to growth. I've attached a link. Last slide. I think CPROS will be able to share this presentation after this, and those that are willing to join the project can apply, and then we can have an engagement, or anyone who is looking to be engaged in any form of way as a partner or access financing. CPROS will also be able to share the contact. I'll also share my contact in the WhatsApp group, the CoP community, for any further engagements. I don't know whether Beatrice from MECS is in the group, in the meeting, I mean. Okay, I think those are, I just wanted to talk as one of the partners we've worked with in the institutional energy space. And I see she's not in the meeting. Maybe back to you, CPROS.
All right, thank you, and apologies for that. The internet today is really not good. Sorry for all the delays. Yeah, I think as we wait for Beatrice to maybe later on join and give us some of her experiences working with Equity Bank on financing. Philomena, if there are any questions, you can pose those to Esther and Noreen to respond to, and we can also pick questions from the audience following the discussion we've just had. Philomena?
Yes, thank you, Cyprus. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Philomena from Thinking Association in Kenya. Thank you so much for the presentation, Esther. So in the chat box, I think I have seen only 3 or 4 questions. And one is from Rochelle. Rochelle asked, from the programs that you have mentioned, like, for example, the eComoto, who qualifies for programs like the eComoto programs, and are they existing clients only? Maybe we can go one by one. Esther?
I can take that question. So for the eComoto clients, we onboard all the partners who sell clean cooking technologies for the household, especially the small ones. So anybody who's selling gas, anybody who's selling improved cook stoves, especially the approved tier cook stoves, anybody who's now selling the e-cooking appliances, anybody who's selling the improved cook stoves that deal with briquettes. Currently, we are even onboarding people who have come up with the solar cooking devices. Anybody who's selling solar, the small solar systems, we can onboard you. As long as you have an Equity bank account, we will facilitate a pay with Equity till. As long as you're a merchant, the pay with Equity till just works like a buy goods number, but it facilitates, it has creditability, so that if a GICO is 5,000 shillings and the pay with Equity till is mapped to your account, and the client is eligible for the loan and has qualified, when they apply for the loan, the 5,000 shillings automatically gets into your account, and as we are left servicing the financing for the client over the 6 months. So each and every one of you, you're highly encouraged, because right now we are in the process of forming ecosystems. Like, you'll find that there are some companies in the improved cook stove space and in the e-cooking space, they have like maybe 20 distributors. And the challenge they are facing is that they give out maybe 60 days credit to those people. So most of their working capital is tied up, and they have liquidity issues when they want to buy more stock. Maybe they want to clear their stocks from the port. So what we are doing is that we want them to offload the burden of the financing to us, so that you as a manufacturer, you're paid outright, and we are left with the distributor financing the loan, so that your money is not tied up in credit and liabilities and looking after the stockists to pay. So essentially, that's what eComoto is all about. And the best thing about it is that if we are one body, especially under CCAK, they've already approved the eligible products and the standardized products. So we will already know who are the best people to work with. And this forum is also, when we see people posting about faulty products and all that, we'll know that this service provider is quick with the service, with providing good services, but this one maybe is lagging behind. So with that kind of knowledge moving forward, it's easier for us to negotiate even better credit terms for you. We are able to even facilitate loans for the people who are not eligible previously, and we are especially targeting the youth, the women, and industries. Like, you'll find in West Management, most of the financing companies do not understand some of the models. They do not understand how they'll get their money back. But because we are pushing this from a foundation perspective, now it's easier for you to get your financing faster. Or we can also reason using the carbon credit angle, so that it acts as a collateral for you to get your financing upfront. And especially if you have a relationship with the nearest branch, it even becomes easier, so that business is seamless for the eComoto merchants.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Noreen. So maybe to just respond to this question, it means they have to be existing Equity Bank clients, right?
maybe initially they are not, but I will onboard them as soon as they reach out to me.
Okay. So then how do you check that? How do you check the money is used for the right product and the right vendor? And if so, does the client collect the product from the branch or from the vendor's shop or both? Or how do they go about the logistics around collecting their product?
So what happens is the merchant has a client till number and they have the GCO. The money does not go to the client's phone, it goes directly to the merchant's till number. So once it goes to the merchant's till number, then the merchant is able to give out the product to the customer. So we've mapped it in such a way that the money goes directly to the till number of the merchant and not to the client's phone number. And the good thing is that it can be mapped in that because they do data collection and warranties, we have signed up many of these merchants, so we can also track on our end so that we can see how many products have been sold through that platform because we have back-end access.
Okay, so your tracking is digital, kind of.
Yes, and the best thing about it is even if a merchant is in Marsabit and there is somebody in North Hor, the farthest reaches, or Mandera, somebody can get the product in real time. Like, let me say it's a pressure cooker and you're a manufacturer who has a distributor there and there's a client who wants to access it immediately. All they have to do is pay to your till, because we've seen some of our distributors do that. Then you give them the nearest distributor to give them the product, and then the manufacturer can send a replacement product so that the client receives the product in real time.
Okay. Thank you, Rochelle, for those questions. I'll move on. There's a question from John Leary, very familiar face in the eCooking sector. John is asking, are electric solutions available on the school's cooking financing program yet, like as of now? Or is it just LPG for now? I note that you showed some of the institutional LPG work that you have done. So is there any for eCooking right now, or maybe in the pipeline in the near future?
I think I can take that, Philomena. Currently, we've not partnered with any company offering e-cooking for institutional level. I think we had an engagement with one of the partners, but the capacity was a bit too low for institutional level. I think we need something that can cook at around for 500 students. Again, it's something in pipeline, so we are open. Equity is open to work with any of the people. We don't select who we work with, so we are open to anyone who is offering that those services for institutional level.
Esther, I lost you a bit. Cyprus, can you hear Esther?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
now?
I can hear Esther. Esther, yeah, you can also turn on your camera so that people can see me speaking, if that's okay with you.
Let me try. Yeah, so I don't know whether I'm visible. Yeah, any company that is open, we are open to work with many companies in the sector. Again, for us is financing, and this is something we are looking forward to working with, especially those who are offering e-cooking technology to institutions. Of course, we need a cost-benefit analysis of how that solution looks like compared to firewood, LPG, and other technologies. And also a training for our team for them to know how that solution works, so that even when they're engaging institutions, they're able to explain to the head teachers, the principals, on how the solution works. Yeah, I think those, but we can engage at a personal level, after the meeting.
Thank you. Thank you, John. Thank you, Esther, for your responses. And I see John here just spotlighted Dorothy from Melora Impact, who is also the vice chair of our organization, CCAK. So John thinks that Dorothy is in this call. I think I need to confirm that. If Dorothy is ready, could she please tell us a bit about the partnership between Nyalore Impact and Equity to offer consumer financing for EPCs. So Dorothy, if you're on this call, you can unmute, but if you're not ready, I can give you some time. Dorothy, are you speaking or should I? Okay, so maybe I can just move on. Maybe when she's ready, she can raise her hand. I will see if then she can proceed. So moving on to the next question from Emily. Emily is asking to the equity team, does somebody need security to access the ecomotor loan?
So with the ecomotor loan, we normally, just like the principle used behind Mshwari and Fuliza, the loan limits are set based on the transactional volumes and the financial ability metrics that have been analyzed by our teams on the credit side. So mostly it's transaction based and a limit is assigned to each customer. So there is no security. But as long as you have account, our teams normally set loan limits for that. And for the pay with equity merchants, they also have a loan limit as well, so that based on the transaction volumes that pass through your pay with equity till, you will find that you already have a loan limit, maybe to enable you to buy stock or something. So the more you transact using the till and the more your account is healthy, the higher your loan limit is, up to 3 million unsecured, and that can be done through your phone.
Okay, and just still on the same. So for women groups trading collectively, how do you appraise for business loan?
Sorry, could you repeat that, Philomena?
So Emily is asking, sorry, people are applying differently. So for those that are in women groups and they are trading collectively, so how do you appraise them if they need maybe a business loan?
So for those ones, it's based on their loan savings portfolio. So you'll find like some are able even to borrow money to buy a matatu, but some are able to borrow maybe 100,000. So depending on the savings. So you'll find most of the, typically women pay better, so they have more loan limits. That's what we've seen on our side. And you'll find the really seasoned ones who stayed with the bank have big loan limits. And the best thing about them is that some of the disciplined groups have been able to do huge things just based on that. And we actually have Charity in Kirote. She heads women banking. So she's actually even pushing it also from the corporate side. So we really, really, really support women groups.
Okay, then Emily has requested that you kindly share the links for the vendors who are maybe on this call and those that are in the network to apply, and maybe a brochure describing all these programs. If you can have the links, you can just paste them in the chat. Then so Dorothy said that she's not able to speak now, but on the question that John asked, I think since She has been working with Noreen on the program. I think Noreen can be able to tell us how maybe they have been working with Dorothy, especially on the EPC, consumer financing for EPCs.
So for Dorothy, since she embarked on the program for promoting the EPCs, we've been working with her. Initially, she had the briquettes, but now she's promoting the EPCs and especially using the PayGo model. So she's affiliated her promoters to the different branches, and we are supporting, especially with the going to the groups model. Financing has been a bit of a challenge, and the products need an education so that the clients can understand and appreciate the value before they start uptaking the products. But Dorothy has been one of our best women partners. We've gotten a lot of education through working with her, and hopefully we've supported some of her initiatives, especially we've gone with her to visit the flower farms. We've trained some of the branches. The initial baseline survey she did was in our branches, in the groups, where she got input from some of our customers. And hopefully, as now that the stock is there and they've put the IoT testing, she will be able to say more from her side, because I can only speak from our side. But we've encountered some challenges, but we've also learned through the process, and we are hoping to support her more, and apart from her, also support more businesses across the value chains, because as you know, Kenya is the benchmark, and all these other subsidiaries, mostly they usually do the testing in Kenya before they replicate to the other countries. So we are looking forward to onboarding more partners, and as you expand, we hope to be able to work together with you on that financial journey to the other subsidiaries.
Thank you, Noreen, and congratulations, Dorothy. It's very good to hear that you are doing marvelous work under the equity program. And thank you, Noreen, for confirming that you are ready to expound and work also with other women-led organizations on businesses in promotion of access to clean cooking. So John says, great to hear that you're able to treat carbon credits as collateral for working capital loans, because this is critical enabler for this sector, matters affordability. Could you do the same for RBF programs?
Okay, for just to clarify first on the carbon financing as a collateral for loans in the bank, that's something still work in progress. To see, trying to defend that in the board, and also showing, because everything we do in the bank has to show a return on investment for the bank, and then also needs to be approved by the board. But again, we can say no to structuring carbon financing program to that is based on RBF funding. That it's a matter of negotiating how that would look like, developing a long-term, like coming up with an internal rate of return for the bank, because again, this is between the bank and the different providers, carbon developers, because the bank is the one which is involved directly in financing. So that's something if we can discuss with the team from the bank and see how it would look like in the long run.
Okay, thank you. So thank you, John, for those questions. So we have Karen Atieno. Karen is asking, very valid question. For individuals with non-registered businesses, although they have traded for like a year or maybe more and have passed the proof of concept stage, what kind of financing is available for such people?
I'm trying to think, are they looking to raise financing for their businesses? Because again, I would think of a personal banking. If we, I don't know, if we are able to prove performance of business without a proper account, because if you come to take a biashara loan, for example, they will monitor your statement for the biashara, not your personal banking. So again, it's all a matter of creating a personal account, but I know we use other statements to finance for the any kind of finance in the bank. Maybe Noreen can also share more about that.
Yes. So, like, yes, we also have working capital loans, and we have stock financing loans, which are typically insured, so that acts as a guarantee by itself. But what we can do is, if the client is interested, they can come. We can sit and talk and look at the what they have. And the best thing about us, we have different relationship managers, irrespective of where the business is on the spectrum. So we will be able to map you either to personal banking, biashara banking, even if it's group lending, and they'll be able to support you at whatever level you're in and be able to uplift you. So let me say, typically, if you look at an example of one of our major distributors, she started in Lutuli, and right now she has 2 warehouses. Based just on the relationship we've had, and we've been able to support her until she builds her business. So one of the best things about equity, it's all about relationship management. So we look at the unique characteristics, and we will able to offer a tailor-made solution. And the best thing about it is that you have a champion in us in the energy pillar, and we will champion for you at the branch, especially if you're in the renewable energy space. So whatever your requirements are, just reach out to us, and we'll be able to support you and affiliate you to the right person who will be able to maybe take your business and assess it and give you the best loan that you require.
Okay. Thank you so much. My colleague Ellie says, so this is not eCooking related, but he's wondering if EBL, is it East Africa, EBL has any plans of expanding Equity Bank Limited, sorry. Sorry, he's wondering if Equity Bank Limited has any plans of expanding the scope of financing to cater for installation of biogas system in institutions and for other uses. So this one is on biogas.
Yes, Ellie, we are already doing that. We've received proposals from schools for financing on biogas. We are doing biogas at household level, working with some of the players in the sector. Also, this has been a success, especially for smallholder farmers, where the Food and Agriculture Department has come in key, especially in their aim of promoting climate smart agriculture. But yes, we are doing institutional biogas, but it's not as much as the way we've done LPG, because again, the pressure of the gas, it's quite low, and some of the institutions will not have enough feedstock to generate enough biogas for their own use.
Okay. So John asked Noreen, how will the addition of IoT in EPCs, sorry. Oh God, sorry. typing. Okay, so how will the addition of IoT in EPC supplied by Nyalore impact, who has been a beneficiary of your program, enhance the consumer finance offering from equity? For example, will you be able to offer better rates if the device can be turned off remotely if clients aren't able to keep up with the repayments?
So for now, what has happened is we've not been able to do the integration with the IoTs for Nyalore Impa. So she's doing it using her pay-go system method. But that's a conversation we are also having on our side to see whether the IoT can also be an added security in case of default, so that it makes it easier to give out the products on loan. But it's still a conversation on our side, but no integration has been done so far. But it's something we are exploring.
Okay, thank you so much. So one last question I can see in the chat. Cyprus, kindly let me know if there was another presenter, if they are ready to take up the floor. Jimmy from GIZ, thanks Jimmy. Jimmy is asking, what's the maximum loan amount a client can access via the Equity app? Initial costs of biodigester are relatively high.
So the maximum loan limit is up to 3 million based on the loan limit of the customer, and that is digital up to 1 year. So between 1 month to 1 year, so depending on the capability of the client.
Cyprus, you can pick it from here.
Yeah, I just have a quick follow-up question to Noreen. She said the 3 million is based on the loan limit of the client. So my question was, how do they calculate the loan limit? Is it based on the client's personal savings with regards to equity records, or how do you calculate that loan limit?
So it depends on the number of the transactional ability of the client, the volume of money that passes through the till. So we can access how healthy the account is. So it's digitally based. So it's based on how frequently and how healthy the account of the merchant is.
Okay, yeah, I get that. So, Esther, before we proceed to the next session, do you have anybody else who'd like to speak? The people you've worked with. I'm not able to find Beatrice on the call, so.
Anyone from any I think Sayona, Nyalore is here.
Okay, sorry.
Systema Bio, anyone from those companies? I think most of the people, Total Energies.
Philomena, please mute your mic.
Yeah, so I think anyone in the call
proceed.
our partners can talk. But just to highlight, I think this is something that John asked about the IoT. One of our biggest challenges has been integrating the pay-go systems in the Equity app. The new app has really restricted a lot of other external platforms, which the IT team in the bank is still trying to find a way. We've received a lot of requests from fintech companies to see how we can work around that to integrate some of these solutions with our Equity app. But we are happy to work with some of these people who may have some of the ways that we can work around that. But again, being the core part of the banking system, it's really a challenge because again of the security issues that are associated with this. But this is something we are looking to see whether we can work around with our internal IT department. So maybe anyone from any of these companies we worked closely with, maybe can go ahead and speak.
Yeah, I see Daisy is here, but I'm assuming you already spoke on how you and Nyalore Impact have been working. So do I see anybody else from Sayona?
BioLite and yeah, BioLite, anyone from BioLite, I think, or Ban Noreen has been working Ban, right? Yeah.
Yeah, please have the floor. If you have anything else to add, please raise your hand. Okay. Yeah, I think I don't see any hands raised. So Esther and Noreen, quick, like in 2 seconds, what can you say from your experience working with the organizations you've worked with? What do you think is one challenge that they're experiencing, and how can, as a bank, as Equity Bank, from your presentation, you mentioned that one thing you've noticed with the small medium enterprise business is that sometimes when they submit their proposals, requesting for funds, they're not well done, and so they don't get to meet the requirements. So as a bank, are there some initiatives that you put in place to build the capacity of these entrepreneurs to be able to develop good proposals? And is there opportunities for you to partner with the clean cooking sector as a whole, because we have quite a number of entrepreneurs, especially, for instance, those who are registered under CCAK. And I believe now that you have this call for applications, a number of them will be interested. But I'm wondering, do you have an initiative where you as a bank, you're able to train them on how to develop good proposals so that they're able to take advantage of these opportunities?
So, one thing I'd say, like, as the energy pillar, we are really trying to onboard as many renewable energy companies as we can, so that we have a bigger voice, so that, like, when we go and form an ecosystem, like, everybody in the bank understands the unique needs of these clean energy providers, and especially when dealing with carbon, which we are really championing, we want it to be used as a collateral in future, so that when these renewable energy companies go to the bank, they are able to use that as collateral to access their financing. And at the same time, we want, apart from the ecomoto for the end consumer, we want to be able to have, like, stock. We have something called easy stock loans that will target especially renewable energy companies who will be needing easy stock financing, or they'll be needing like, maybe for us to pay manufacturers to release products to them, so that they can be able to sell to the market and pay for the products after they have sold. So we are working around especially an ecosystem financing for renewable energy providers. That's why we want to onboard as many as possible around renewable energy liter and blue economy, so that it makes a case for us, since when we have a large number of people, we can be able to talk about the portfolio as a whole, and it will have a larger voice. So we highly encourage all of you, please be patient. Sometimes we know we fail, but just be patient with us, because we're also learning, but we also appreciate your support. And
you are what will strengthen us, and you're what will give us a voice, and you're what will unlock financing for the renewable energy companies in future. And now that you know we are also in the other subsidiaries, it will even make your work easier when you want to move from Kenya and go to Congo, go to Rwanda, go to Tanzania, and you need to be put in front of merchants and stockists who you can immediately onboard to start selling your products. So please give us feedback. Please give us suggestions. Like the IoT is a brilliant idea, especially now that eCooking is the in thing right now. And whenever you face challenges, please reach out to us. Esther is really championing the institutional cooking front, and I and my colleague Michael are really trying our best on the clean cooking for the household.
Esther, anything you want to add on to Norin's point?
I think Noreen has captured everything, and maybe just to highlight financing renewable energy in the bank is not as financing any other, like real estate. Proposals on renewable energy are not reviewed the same as someone coming to take a loan for a car or what. It's quite a challenge trying to defend proposals in the bank. One thing is because there is the risk, the climate risk that is attached to this. On our end, we've tried as a foundation to build the capacity of our branch staff to understand some of these technologies that how they operate, how we can structure loans for them. We've also secured guarantee or risk sharing instruments for the bank to be able to finance some of these technologies, which has also given, been a milestone for us because for now some of the products can be considered, or some of the renewable energy technologies can be considered by the bank. Now the NORAD project, NORAD Fine project, again targeting renewable energy, marine litter, is a way of also building the capacity of businesses that are operating this sector to be able to know what does the bank look for. And we are working this closely with our department, enterprise development and financial literacy, financial inclusion pillar, which one of the modules they build the capacity of entrepreneurs is on the financing from the bank. How does equity financing work? So that even when you're going to present your proposal in the branch, you are aware of some of these things. What do I need to apply for a loan, for example? So again, if you want to at least go through some of these programs, be able to understand how to be appraised or to qualify for financing at equity, for example, would look like. And I know most of the bank in the sector have the same processes. So if you are able to understand how equity operates, in more or less you understand any other bank in the sector, what are the requirements that they are looking for. The last thing is the policy environment, and this is something for the institutional energy access. And probably this is something we can also collaborate with the sector players, the Clean Cooking Association of Kenya, Gamos through the MECS program, see how to support more schools to transition. It's been a challenge getting approvals from the ministry, and Eli asked about the biogas for institution, and I just remembered one of the schools that had applied for a loan to go biogas didn't manage to install because the financing proposal was rejected at the Ministry of Education level. Again, is bringing together stakeholders, Ministry of Energy, Ministry of Education, to work together to see how they can agree, because it's supporting, it's as much as the schools are owned by the Ministry of Education, it's supporting the government's agenda of transitioning schools to affordable and cleaner ways of cooking. So this is something, at least even adoption of electric cooking this goes beyond even looking at the clean cooking as a technology, but also the solarization or even the electrification of some of these schools, especially in rural areas. How we can create programs to ensure that they have enough power and reliable power for them to go electric cooking. So again, yeah, it's a matter of policy and also a lot of research, a lot of capacity building and awareness creation for the end users and also working closely with the technology providers. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Esther, for those. Yeah, I think that marks the end of our webinar today. And I would just like to echo what Esther said. I think both of them from their presentation, it's really evident that financing is still one of those critical elements that is affecting access and adoption of clean cooking and e-cooking, to be specific for the context of MECS. And so I think we need to find a way to address these barriers and encourage investments within the sector, and also see a way we can support the innovations, clean cooking innovations within the sector to help with accelerating adoption and increase access. So we also like to acknowledge that a lot of work is being done by various stakeholders within the government space, development partners, and also financial institutions. We can see what Equity Bank already, Equity Group Foundation is already doing with the entrepreneurs in the clean cooking sector. And those are just one, but a few initiatives that are already ongoing. And I think they're quite a number. We will try to feature some of those in the upcoming webinars. Yeah, so in a nutshell, I think it's important for us to take advantage of those opportunities when they come up. And so Equity Bank has provided us with those links. I think it's important. I'll share those in the course of the week with everyone. Sorry, I think I clicked on my camera instead of the link. Yeah, so we will share those links with everyone, and also we will share some of the links to some of the webinars that we've had in the past for us to be able to go back to those for purposes of learning. Otherwise, overall, I think this was really a great session that was really, really needed from the conversations we've had, from the questions people are asking. It is very evident that finance is still an issue that needs to be addressed. We are glad that Equity is taking up space to support the clean cooking sector, and we hope that more banks and more financial institutions will come into play and support these initiatives. Otherwise, I think you've learned. I hope you've learned something, and I hope that you will take advantage of the link and be part of the ecosystem, as Noreen says. And yeah, see you in our next webinar.
Thanks, Afroz. Thanks, everyone.
All right, bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. From Biofranca.